My name is Sarah Miller, and I'm 28. There I was in my white dress, cutting our wedding cake with Chris. The room was full of laughter and applause, but a hollow feeling settled in my chest. Not a single member of my family was among the guests. It was just friends and my new in-laws. As we pressed the knife into the frosting, my phone lit up. A message from my mom. "We need to talk now." Below it were 36 missed calls. My stomach dropped with fear and curiosity. To understand why my family skipped my wedding, I need to take you back to the beginning. I grew up in a seemingly normal suburban house in Ohio with my parents, David and Eleanor Miller, and my younger sister, Emily. On the outside, we looked like the perfect family, but behind closed doors, I always felt like the emotional outsider. Emily was 3 years younger than me, but she was the star from the day she was born. With her natural blonde curls and outgoing personality, she was the sunshine child everyone adored. She danced, played violin, and had a charm that drew people to her. I wasn't jealous of her talents or beauty. What hurt was how differently our parents treated us. "Mom, I got accepted into the advanced science program," I announced one evening during my sophomore year of high school. My mom glanced up briefly from helping Emily with her dance costume. "That's nice, honey. Put the letter on the counter so Dad can see it later." But when Emily won third place in a local dance competition that same week, our parents took us all out for a celebratory dinner. They ordered champagne and made a toast to our little star. I sat quietly, wondering why my achievement was barely acknowledged. This wasn't an isolated event. It was the pattern of my childhood. I excelled in math and science, earning scholarships and academic awards, but my achievements were always overshadowed by whatever Emily was doing. My parents missed my high school graduation because Emily had a recital that day. "You understand, right? This is really important for her future," Mom explained. I did understand, but it didn't hurt any less. By the time I entered college, I had accepted my place in the family hierarchy. I stopped calling home as frequently, knowing conversations would inevitably shift to Emily's latest accomplishments. I built my own life, made friends who valued me, and focused on my education and future career. My senior year of college, when I graduated with honors, my parents promised they would attend the ceremony. I reserved seats for them. The morning of graduation, I received a text from my mom. "Emily got a call back for a major audition. We need to drive her to New York. So proud of you, though. Take pictures." Only my best friend's seat was filled that day. My best friend, Hannah, became the family I chose. We met during freshman orientation and clicked immediately. She was studying psychology and was empathetic in ways my family never was. After graduation, we both found jobs in Boston and shared an apartment. She witnessed my struggles with my family firsthand. I met Chris at a mutual friend's birthday party when I was 26. He was tall, with kind brown eyes and a laugh that made everyone smile. On our third date, I told him about my family situation. Instead of the usual sympathetic but uncomfortable response, Chris reached across the table and took my hand. "That's not normal or okay, Sarah. You deserve better from the people who are supposed to love you unconditionally." No one had ever validated my feelings so directly. For years, I had wondered if I was being overly sensitive. Chris helped me see that my pain was legitimate. As our relationship grew serious, Chris encouraged me to set boundaries. "You can't change them," he would say, "but you can change how you respond to them." He suggested I speak with a therapist, which I eventually did. Dr. Owens helped me understand emotional neglect. I began lowering my expectations for my family. It was painful but liberating. I stopped trying to earn their approval and focused on building a life that made me happy. Chris became my rock. His family welcomed me warmly from the first time we visited them. His mother, Diane, called me regularly just to chat. His father, Michael, sent me articles about scientific breakthroughs. His sister, Jessica, became the sibling relationship I had always wished for. "You're part of our family now," Diane told me. "And in this family, we celebrate everyone's victories." I cried that night, overwhelmed by the simple kindness that felt so foreign. With therapy and Chris's support, I promised myself I would stop measuring my worth by my family's inability to see it. I would create happiness on my own terms. I would break the cycle if I ever had children. Little did I know how severely my resolve would be tested when Chris and I decided to get married. Chris proposed on our 2-year anniversary. It was perfect, thoughtful, and so completely Chris. That night, the anxiety began creeping in. I needed to tell my family. "They'll be happy for you," Chris assured me, though his voice had a slight hesitation. I called my parents the next day. My mom answered. "Oh, that's good. Congratulations," she said without excitement. "Emily just got the lead in a local theater production, by the way. We're so thrilled for her." My engagement was overshadowed once again. Despite the lukewarm response, we proceeded with our wedding plans. We decided on a small ceremony with about 60 guests. We sent out invitations, including ones to my parents, Emily, and a few extended family members. Weeks passed with no RSVP. I called my mom. "Yes, we got it," she said. "We'll try to make it, of course, but you know how busy things get." Each conversation was the same. They would promise to attend but find excuses. Through it all, Hannah was my saving grace. She took on the role of maid of honor with an enthusiasm that made up for my family's indifference. Chris's family also stepped up in extraordinary ways. His mom helped with the seating arrangements. His father insisted on contributing to the costs. Jessica threw me a separate bridal shower, making me feel truly welcomed. 2 weeks before my wedding, I was scrolling through Instagram when my thumb froze over a photo of Emily. She was beaming, her left hand showcasing a sizable diamond ring. The caption read, "He asked, I said yes. Hatch engaged, hatch future Mrs. Williams." I stared at the screen, unable to process what I was seeing. Emily was engaged, and no one had bothered to tell me. The comment section was filled with congratulations, including several from my parents. My hands shaking, I called my mom. "Emily is engaged?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Oh, you saw the post?" "Yes. Patrick proposed last weekend." "And why did nobody tell me?" I interrupted. "Well, honey, you've been so busy with your own wedding plans. We didn't want to bother you." I pressed further. "What about celebrating this weekend? My wedding is in 2 weeks." A longer pause. "Emily is having a small engagement party on Saturday. Just family and close friends." My stomach dropped. "But that's my wedding day." "Is it? Oh dear, I thought your wedding was the following weekend." Her voice sounded falsely confused. "Honey, would it be possible for you and Chris to reschedule?" The request was so outrageous, so hurtful, that for a moment I couldn't speak. Reschedule my entire wedding because my sister decided to have her engagement party the same day? "No, Mom, we can't reschedule our wedding. We have 60 people coming." "Well," she sighed as if I were being unreasonable, "I suppose we'll have to figure something out. But you know how important this is for Emily." I ended the call shortly after. I called Hannah, who was appropriately outraged. "That's insane. They can't expect you to share your wedding day, or worse, reschedule it for an engagement party." "What should I do?" I asked, fighting back tears. "Nothing. You do absolutely nothing except have your beautiful wedding as planned. If they choose Emily's party, that's on them, not you. And I promise you, Sarah, I'll be right there with you the entire day. You won't be alone." Chris was equally supportive. "Your family is making a choice, and it's a poor one that reflects on them. Not on you. Our wedding will be wonderful because we'll be surrounded by people who truly love and support us." But the pain of potential abandonment by my entire family was overwhelming. That night, I sobbed in Chris's arms, mourning the family relationship I had always longed for. The next day, I texted Emily. "Congratulations on your engagement. I wish you had told me personally. Is there any way you could reschedule your party?" Her response came hours later. "Thanks. Sorry. Everything is already set for the party. Maybe you could come for a little bit after your reception. It's going to be epic." The casual disregard was the final straw. I didn't respond. Over the next few days, my mom's texts made it increasingly clear they had chosen Emily's celebration. The last one read, "We'll try to stop by your ceremony if we can get away from setup for Emily's party. Hope you understand. Family comes first." The irony was not lost on me. In their minds, Emily was family. I apparently was not. The day before my wedding, I hadn't heard from my family in 3 days. We were at the rehearsal, and they were still a glaring absence. As we were finishing up, I got a text from my mom. Busy preparing for Emily's party tomorrow. Good luck with the rehearsal. Love you. They're not coming, are they? Chris asked quietly. No, I replied, my voice steady. They're busy preparing for Emily's party. The rehearsal dinner was lovely, but the empty place cards from my family were a painful reminder. I excused myself to the restroom to fight back tears. When I returned, Chris's mom, Diane, had removed the empty place cards and rearranged the seating. She gave me a small smile and a wink. The gesture brought a rush of gratitude. Back at the hotel, I made one last attempt at reaching out. I called my father. Dad, I just wanted to check if you're still planning to come tomorrow to walk me down the aisle. Sarah, I'm sorry, he said. Your mother needs me to help with Emily's party. There's so much to do, and you know how important this is to your sister. More important than your oldest daughter's wedding? I asked, my voice breaking. That's not fair. We didn't realize the dates would conflict. There is no conflict, Dad. You chose. I'm sorry you feel that way, he said stiffly. I hope you have a nice wedding. The call ended. No more tears came. I felt hollow. My phone chimed with a text from Hannah. Just checking in. How are you feeling, bride-to-be? I responded. I'm okay. Looking forward to seeing you in the morning. Her reply came quickly. About that, I'm so sorry, but something urgent has come up. Family emergency. I might be a little late, but I'll definitely be there before the ceremony. A small flicker of unease stirred in my stomach. Something about her response felt off. I scrolled through social media to distract myself and froze when I saw a new post from Emily. It was a selfie of her trying on a party dress with the caption, "Final fitting for tomorrow's big day. Can't wait to celebrate with everyone who matters." The location tag caught my eye. The same upscale shop where Hannah had mentioned she needed to run an errand. With growing dread, I tapped on the photo to see who had liked it. Among the names was Hannah's. And worse, a comment from her posted just 30 minutes ago. You look stunning. Can't wait for tomorrow. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. My best friend, my maid of honor, was planning to attend Emily's engagement party instead of my wedding. I called her. The call went straight to voicemail. I texted, "Are you going to her party instead of my wedding?" Minutes passed with no response. Then finally, "I'm so sorry, Sarah. Emily reached out and said how much it would mean to her if I came. I thought maybe I could do both, but the timing won't work. I should have told you directly. I feel terrible." The betrayal was complete. I turned off my phone, unable to bear anymore. Curling up on the hotel bed, still fully dressed, I let the tears come. Everyone who was supposed to love me had chosen Emily again, even on my wedding day. I must have cried myself to sleep because the next thing I knew, my phone was ringing and sunlight was streaming through the curtains. "Sarah, it's Alex. I'm in the lobby with coffee and bagels. Can I come up?" Alex Turner had been my roommate in college. I had invited her to the wedding more out of nostalgia than close friendship. Sure," I said, my voice thick from crying. A few minutes later, she was at my door. "Whoa, are you okay?" The simple question broke my fragile composure, and I burst into tears. Allison didn't hesitate. She set the coffee and food down and pulled me into a hug. Hey, it's okay. Whatever it is, we'll fix it." Between sobs, I told her everything. My family's choice, Hannah's betrayal, how I was now without a maid of honor. When I finished, Alex looked me directly in the eyes. "Okay, first of all, your family and Hannah are garbage people right now. Second, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. If you'll have me, I'd be honored to step in as your maid of honor today." "You would do that?" I asked, stunned. "Absolutely. What are friends for? Now, drink this coffee, and we're going to make sure you have the most beautiful, meaningful wedding day possible, regardless of who is or is not there." In that moment, with Alex taking charge and showing me more loyalty than people I had counted as closer friends, a small spark of hope returned. The morning passed in a blur. Alex was an exceptional stand-in maid of honor, keeping me distracted from thoughts of my absent family. By the time I was in my wedding dress, I almost felt like the bride I had imagined being. Almost, but not quite. The hollow feeling returned as I realized there would be no mother to help with my veil, no father to walk me down the aisle. You look absolutely beautiful, Alex said. I managed a small smile. I just wish. I know, she said gently. But today is still your day. Focus on Chris, on the life you're building together. That's what matters most. A knock at the door interrupted us. Chris's father, Michael, stood there in his tuxedo. I hope I'm not intruding, he said. Chris mentioned that your father might not be here today. I wanted to offer my services if you'd like someone to walk you down the aisle. No pressure at all, just an option. The unexpected kindness brought fresh tears to my eyes. I would be honored, Michael. Thank you. The honor is all mine, Sarah. You've made our son happier than we've ever seen him. You're already part of our family. Today just makes it official. Walking down the aisle was surreal. My eyes found Chris waiting at the altar. His face when he saw me was everything I could have hoped for. A mixture of awe, love, and absolute certainty. As Michael placed my hand in Chris's, the pain of my family's absence receded, replaced by the warmth of Chris's touch and the love shining in his eyes. The reception was full of love and joy. Chris's extended family and our friends filled the space with laughter and conversation. If anyone noticed the empty front row on my side, they were kind enough not to show it. When it was time for the father-daughter dance, Michael stepped forward and danced with me. Thank you, I whispered. You're family now, he replied simply. That's what family does. Finally, it was time to cut the cake. As we pressed the knife into the bottom tier, I felt my phone vibrate in the hidden pocket of my dress. I discreetly checked the screen. A message from my mom. We need to talk now. Below it, 36 missed calls. My stomach dropped. Everything okay? Chris asked. I showed him the screen. Whatever it is can wait, he said firmly. This is our wedding day. But another part of me, the part that still hoped for reconciliation, made me hesitate. What if something is really wrong? I asked. Chris sighed. If you want to call them back, I understand. But remember, you don't owe them your time today. This day is ours. Finding a quiet corner in the venue's garden, I dialed my mom's number. She answered on the first ring, her voice tearful and frantic. Sarah, oh, thank God, we've been trying to reach you for hours. I was getting married, Mom, I said, unable to keep the edge from my voice. What is so urgent? What she said next would change everything. It's Emily, my mom said, her voice breaking. Patrick called off the engagement right in the middle of the party. He said he couldn't go through with it because Emily told him what she did to you. I sank onto a nearby bench. What do you mean? What did she do to me? Emily lied to us, Sarah, about everything. She deliberately scheduled her engagement party on your wedding day. She told us that you had changed your wedding date and didn't want us there. She showed us fake texts from you saying you wanted nothing to do with us, that you were having a private ceremony with just Chris's family because they were your real family now. My hand trembled. Mom, I never sent any texts like that. I've been calling and messaging for weeks, begging you all to come. I know that now, she admitted. Patrick confronted Emily today after she made a comment about finally being the center of attention. When he pushed her, she broke down and admitted everything. She created fake text conversations, deleted your real messages from our phones, and even intercepted the invitation you sent. The pieces were falling into place, but one question remained. What about Hannah? Why did she choose Emily's party over my wedding? Emily told Hannah that you had asked someone else to be your maid of honor. She showed Hannah fake texts from you, saying you had only asked her originally out of obligation but had found someone you connected with better. I closed my eyes, recalling Hannah's sudden change of plans. It all made sense now in the most twisted way possible. Where is Emily now? I asked. She left after Patrick broke things off. We don't know where she went. My mother's voice cracked. Sarah, we are so sorry. We failed you completely. We don't expect you to forgive us, but we needed you to know the truth. I need to process this, I said, my mind reeling. I'm in the middle of my wedding reception right now. Of course, my father said on speakerphone. We just, we couldn't wait another moment. Is there any chance we could see you tonight? I'll text you the address of our hotel, I said finally. We'll be back there around 11 tonight. You can meet us in the lobby. After ending the call, I sat motionless, trying to comprehend the magnitude of Emily's betrayal and my parents' gullibility. How could Emily have orchestrated something so cruel? And how could my parents have believed her so easily without ever speaking directly to me? Chris found me a few feet away. You've been out here for almost 15 minutes. Is everything okay? I looked up at him. No. I answered honestly. Nothing is okay, but I think maybe it will be eventually. I told him everything. That is... He struggled to find words. I don't even know what to say. Emily deliberately sabotaged our wedding day. She manipulated everyone. That goes beyond sibling rivalry. I told them we'd meet them at the hotel after the reception, I said. I need to hear them say all this to my face. Are you sure you want to do this tonight? He asked gently. No, I said. I need closure before we leave. Then we'll face them together, he said firmly. We returned to the reception. For the remainder of the evening, I went through the motions, all while my mind kept returning to the revelation that had turned my understanding of my family upside down. At 10:45, we made our exit. We went down to the lobby to wait. My stomach was in knots. They arrived at 11:15, my parents looking haggard and red-eyed. My mom rushed toward me but stopped short when I instinctively stepped back. Let's go somewhere more private, Chris suggested, leading us to a small meeting room. Sarah, we don't expect forgiveness, my father said. What we did, believing Emily over you, missing your wedding, it's unforgivable. But we need you to know how deeply sorry we are. Sorry doesn't change the fact that you missed my wedding, I said, my voice tight. Or that you believed I would exclude my own family without even picking up the phone to ask me directly. You're right, my mother whispered. There is nothing we can say to justify our actions. We failed you as parents. Why was it so easy for you to believe I wouldn't want you there? I asked. My parents exchanged a pained look. The truth is, we knew we hadn't been good parents to you, Sarah, my father answered. We knew we had favored Emily. When Emily told us you didn't want us at your wedding, part of us believed it because we felt we deserved that rejection. So you just accepted it without fighting for a relationship with me? I asked. We were cowards, my mother admitted. It was easier to believe Emily's lie than to face the truth of how we had failed you. Where is Emily now? I asked. She left after Patrick confronted her. She's not answering our calls either. I don't understand how she could do this, I said. I think she has always been jealous of you, my mother said quietly. Your intelligence, your independence, the genuine relationships you build. We spoiled her, made her the center of attention, but I think deep down, she wanted what comes naturally to you. That might explain her feelings, but it doesn't excuse her actions, Chris spoke up. You're right, my father agreed. There is no excuse, and we enabled her behavior for years. I looked at my parents, and a part of me ached for the family we could have been. I can't forgive you tonight, I said finally. I don't know if I can ever fully forgive missing my wedding. But I am willing to try to build something new going forward if you are truly committed to change. They both nodded eagerly, tears flowing freely. That means acknowledging the patterns that got us here, I continued. It means therapy, both individually and as a family. It means real accountability. Anything, my mother said immediately, and we will do anything. We talked for another hour, a painful but necessary conversation. 6 months passed, Chris and I settled into married life. Our honeymoon in Greece had been a much-needed escape. Upon our return, the real work began. My parents started therapy. They suggested family therapy with me, which I agreed to after some hesitation. Healing is not linear, our therapist, Dr. Patterson, reminded us. Emily had resurfaced 3 days after the wedding. My parents convinced her to come home and found her a therapist of her own. It took 2 months before I agreed to see her. I don't know where to begin. she said, her voice barely a whisper. Why? I asked simply. It was the question that had haunted me. Why would you go to such lengths to ruin my wedding day? The simple answer is jealousy, she said. But it's more complicated. I grew up feeling like I had to be perfect to keep our parents' attention. They praised me publicly, but privately they always compared me to you. Why can't you be more focused like Sarah? I listened, surprised. I always thought they favored you completely. They did in many ways, she admitted. But their favor came with conditions. I had to be their perfect, charming daughter. You got to be authentic. You built a real life with real friends and real accomplishments. I just performed. That still doesn't explain why you would sabotage my wedding. Tears filled her eyes. When you got engaged to Chris, I saw how happy you were, how complete your life seemed. Patrick had just proposed, but it felt hollow, like another performance. I wanted what you had, and when I couldn't have it, I wanted to destroy it. It was petty and cruel and unforgivable. Yes, it was, I agreed. I'm not asking for forgiveness, she said quickly. I just wanted you to know that I understand what I did, and I'm getting help. That first conversation was painful, but it was a beginning. In the months that followed, Emily continued therapy. My relationship with my parents slowly evolved. They made genuine efforts to know me as I am now. My mother called regularly to ask about my work and my life with Chris. My father sent me articles related to my field. For the first time in my life, I felt seen by my family. Hannah and I had a much more difficult path to reconciliation. When she discovered the truth, she was devastated. She sent flowers, cards, and emails, desperate to apologize. I ignored them for weeks. Eventually, I agreed to a phone call. I should have called you directly, she said, her voice thick with regret. I should have known you would never just replace me. Yes, you should have. I agreed. That's what hurts the most. You believed the worst about me without even asking if it was true. I have no excuse, she admitted. I can only say that I am sorry, and I will spend as long as it takes trying to rebuild your trust. Rebuilding trust was harder than building it the first time. The process was slow and sometimes painful. Alex, my college roommate, surprisingly became a close friend. She became part of our social circle, often joining Chris and me for dinner. On our first anniversary, we decided to have a small dinner party. My parents came, bringing a photo album of pictures they had previously overlooked. Emily came too. During dinner, Chris clinked his glass to make an announcement. We wanted to wait until today to tell everyone. He said, Sarah and I are expecting. The baby is due in June. The table erupted in genuine joy. My mother cried happy tears. My father beamed with pride. Emily hugged me, whispering, You're going to be an amazing mother. Later that night, Chris asked, Are you happy with how things are now with your family? I'm at peace with it, I answered honestly. It's not perfect, but we're building something new, something healthier. That's enough for now. And with the baby coming, I want our child to know their grandparents and aunt, but with healthy boundaries. Our child will never wonder if they are loved or if they are enough. The journey had been challenging, but it had also been illuminating. I learned that families are not static entities, but dynamic relationships that can evolve and heal with genuine effort. I learned that sometimes the greatest gift we can give ourselves is setting clear boundaries and demanding the respect we deserve. Most importantly, I learned that forgiveness is not a single act, but a process that happens in its own time. As I look toward the future, now preparing to create a family of my own with Chris, I carry these lessons with me. I am no longer the daughter desperately seeking approval. I am a woman who knows her worth, who has built a life filled with genuine love and respect, and who chooses each day to nurture relationships that nurture me in return. Sometimes the heart must break completely before it can heal into something stronger. My heart broke that day when I stood alone at my wedding, but from that breaking came a strength and clarity I might never have found otherwise. For that, despite everything, I'm grateful. Have you ever had to rebuild trust with someone who deeply hurt you? How did you find the balance between forgiveness and protecting yourself from being hurt again? Share your experiences in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more real-life experiences. Thank you for listening to my journey. And remember, healing is not about erasing the scars, but about wearing them with the knowledge that you survived something difficult and emerged stronger.